So let's talk about lolcow live in the future a bit. So a couple of days ago, or really a week ago, Keem started left lolcow live. Now he still owns it. He still is a founding member. He owns stocks, right? And now who is left is Boogie, Wings, and Thomas C. And I had a recording of this a couple days ago. I made a recording of it. Didn't really get a chance to upload it, mostly due to the fact that like I just got a microphone and I've been playing around with it, making videos with it, and going forward. So, what is the future of local live, right? What is the future, and what is why did Keem left? Well, Keem kind of left because I think he felt that Boogie Wings and Tommy T could handle the show. I think in a way they could easily handle the show, and I think he wanted to drum up more drama and really amplify it. Now people say he's faking it or they're just planning it. I don't think so. I think again, in my original video that I made, I think Boogie more or less is over exaggerating everything, resulting it becoming the way it is, and especially the guests who are coming on who are fighting against Boogie on a consistent basis, are making it more real, right? Would it be Mr. Medicare, Destiny, or Mutahar, right? They all have a reason to attack Boogie. So to me, it wasn't a surprise. It made more sense, right? It made a lot more sense, right? And I think Boogie was more like over exaggerating. Now there are moments where I felt that all right, he's being for real, right? Especially when he had to cut his internet basically in one show, right? So I think a lot of it is true. A lot of it's very much true. And I think after all of that, I think King just wanted to move away. Now I also see again why King would do that. You mentioned before that drama alert's coming back. He wanted to make it more of a live show. Um, you know, so I think that's why he's moving back from that, from local life project. Right, I think it was more like a stopgap, like a job basically. It's like a grocery job or something like that where you only work there for a little bit of time and then you go to another job that pays more, gives you more hours, right, or something within your career. And I think that's what Keem basically did. He just up and left, and that's not a bad thing. I really believe it's not a bad thing at all. But I think after all of that, I think originally I said like, with the show it's gonna falter or is it gonna be a problem? I don't think so. I think as long as they have a sense of structure and Boogie is able to keep the conversation going and Wings putting in the energy, I think that these should be fine. And Tommy C, I don't really know much about him, but I think if he does what he has to, the show will keep going on for a long time. It's people like watching these idiots do dumb shit, right? Now, originally when I made it, when I made my first original copy of this, a couple days had passed since then, right? And now more stuff has comes out, and the latest locale live was like 2 days ago. I think it was like Friday or Thursday. I don't remember offhand. It was a very long week last week. Um, watching the show, it was a dumpster fire, but I think it was funny as hell watching them like just fumble the ball and not knowing what to do. With makes sense. They're low-cal. They don't know what the hell they're doing. But it was also funny how they were just berating Tommy C. Now Tommy C hasn't been on the show for almost a month, and Wings mentioned that he's allowed to do that, like he's allowed to take weeks off. And there was one guy that came onto the show, right? I think he's like a fan, or he was on the Discord, kind of just saying like like is that really a problem? And he made a point that how Americans don't generally take days off or weeks off, because like England and around the world they have like weeks, multiple weeks off every year. So I see what he means. I understand that pretty much clear with um with that saying, yeah, it's weird that Thomas C. He takes a couple weeks off, then takes another couple weeks off. I feel like he doesn't want to be on the show. I haven't really watched him too much, and from what I can tell, it's like Boogie and Wings. Really more like Boogie doesn't want them there because like it won't drum up what they want, and that's fair enough. In the midst of all of that, Thomas C. No, Keen was mentioning how there was a lot of NDA going on about how like he wants them to sign an NDA. Perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. But Wings, Tommy C was constantly saying like, I do not want to do this, and he's every right. But like, if you're part of a show like that and you own some type of money into it, right? It's like one of those things where like you're gonna have to sign it eventually. There's no way around it. And from what Wings tell me, Thomas C covers a lot of drama, a lot of that shit. So he wants to keep his integrity, which is fine. I respect that easily. But it's like, okay, but you own this kind of stuff. You should at least try to sign a contract or something. And from what I also understand, Kim was mentioning throughout the latest show that him and Tommy Z have a lot of like baggage. They have a lot of issues with each other. Which is like, all right, but if that's the case, that's gonna cause conflict. And I think it would eventually what's gonna happen, especially with Boogie right now. And they made a point that like Tommy C was good at keeping Boogie in check, which was true from what I can gather. That was very much true. But like they also made a point that he did not bring energy to the show, which is like all right. But I think that's the case, and like having some gas or like you planning a structure because the show had issues. Boogie's idea was you could kind of tell Wing was there, but he was just very frustrated because he couldn't talk and couldn't make points that he needed to make towards Boogie. And I feel like Boogie is trying to run the show with it, like, hey, you want to go ahead, but if you feel like you can't, then move to somebody else. And Tommy C could probably run the show from what I can gather, but like he does not want to. So at this point, it's like some say, oh, the show is gonna die, and I don't think that. I think the show is will keep going on because of how much of a dumpster fire it is. And the commentary community they made a point that like they wanted the show to fail, which is sort of true. I was hearing for weeks on end of the commentary community for like when this first started, they wanted it to die or at least wanted to fail, right? So they can just kind of like the commentary community is vultures, right? They are very much a vulture like. They will pick on the corpse, right? They would never do the killing blow, but they will always pick the corpse, right? And that's what they do. And they're not far off from that. Yeah, mind you, that was my that's how I view it. How they said was very different, and I think it was pretty dumb. But yeah, I think keeping the point that like yeah they do want the show to kind of fail, which is not too far off, and like Tommy C probably does as a way to get back at Keem. Now Tommy C released a stream today. I haven't really watched. I watched a little bit here and there, so I have to go and like watch that, and maybe depending, I may come back and add a couple more minutes to this video. Cause I'm not trying to make this longer than it has to, but overall, I think the show has a future as long as they have structure and Boogie does not run any of the editors or any of the production. And if Wings or they could get another host, because they did mention on X that they are planning to get new hosts in. And I think Wings also is capable of bringing people into the show. I can easily see him. I think he has that sudden spot, the sudden feel to him that can bring people on and talk to them like Pescator with when him and Gundam had a show together, but that didn't go. When that died, oof. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping things will work out. But as we speak right now, the show was a shit show. But I think it shows that it still has a lot of life to it. That's really not much else I can say. I'll finish the time we see video, and depending, I may or may not come back and edit some of this or just redo everything. I'll see what happens. I'll see what happens.